Hi, it's Leona. Welcome back to the Slow Living series. Today we're going to dive into how we can partner with nature to make slow living possible. It's not always easy to practice slow living in a fast-paced world, but nature is always there for us to help us sneak in those wonderful, slow, present, mindful, intentional moments. And I'm going to organize it into the 4 elements: water, fire, earth, and air, not necessarily in that order. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get started. Have you ever been inside and it starts raining and maybe you have the window open or you're sitting out on a sun porch or screened-in porch, and just the sound of the rain, it's wonderful. It makes you feel so peaceful. Or just falling asleep or waking up to the sound of rain. So that's first water tip, is if it's raining, take a moment to listen or sit out there maybe and let the raindrops hit your skin. Okay, so I was recording outside and I was fine. I was quite happy out there, but my camera overheated. So we're inside of my Breath and Nature studio right now. So that's where we're gonna finish up today. We were talking about water as an element that invites us to slow down. And we talked about rain and listening to the rain, but listening to any water, listening to streams and rivers, waterfalls, this definitely invites us into the present moment, and we feel safe because many years ago, when there was a sound of water, that meant life could continue because we need water to live. And way back when, if a drought came up or if people were migrating through areas where there wasn't enough water, that was hard and life-threatening. So if there was running water, that was always a welcome sound for humans, and it still is today. I'm going to leave you with one more water invitation. A lot of us take showers, and I just remember in my corporate life, I never even remembered taking the shower. I just did it, but I was in such a rush and I was already solving world's problems. So my mind was completely somewhere else and the shower just happened. And so my invitation to you, to help you on your path to slow living, is make your next shower more intentional. Really tune in to the water, the sounds, how it feels on your skin, the warmth of the water, and just be there, be in that moment and enjoy the shower. So that's my invitation to you for the water element, helping you with slow living. We're going to have slow showers, even if it is a quick one. All right, let's talk about some earth invitations. Hug a tree. I love hugging trees. Get out there and walk barefoot. Connect with the earth. Feel the textures and the temperature of the ground. And finally, plant something. It could be just planting an herb in a little pot in your kitchen, or maybe something bigger like planting a tree in honor of someone that you like to remember, or just planting a tree for a birthday. Planting things is a wonderful way to slow down. So those are the earth invitations. Okay, fire, light a candle. How wonderful is it to sit there, slow down, and just watching the flicker of candlelight, maybe turning off all the other lights and just enjoying the warm glow of candles lighting up your space. And I invite you to light a candle for your next meal. And it doesn't even have to be a fancy meal. You can light a candle with your breakfast, allowing that fire to draw you into the moment and experience mindful eating and slow living. Air reminds me of our breath. Breath is a wonderful way to slow down. What about watching clouds? As the clouds are moving and as they're being moved by the breeze and by the air, it doesn't take too long to step outside and just watch the clouds for a minute. And as we do that, we automatically slow down. Feeling the breeze is a wonderful way to tune in to our surroundings and nature. We can feel the breeze in our hair, on our skin. We can feel the breeze moving our clothing. We can see the breeze moving leaves and blades of grass. We can see the birds floating and swooping in and up and down, using the air flow to move their way around. It's a wonderful way to tune in with nature. I invite you to use the air element. I invite you to maybe open your windows and let the fresh air come into your home or office. Maybe hang your clothing outside to dry. That's taking it a little bit further. Maybe that takes a little bit longer than just a moment. I don't have a clothing line out there to dry my clothes on. Let me know if you do and if you do that. But anytime I see someone hanging out their clothes to dry, it reminds me of slow living. And maybe that just goes back to my childhood when my grandmother had lines for drying clothes next to her apartment building, and I would go out there with her and just sit there and play in the grass and wait for her to hang up the clothing or take it down. And these are some wonderful memories. I invite you to choose one element today and use some of the ideas from this video, or come up with your own invitations to partner with nature on your path to slow living. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe. And in the meantime, stay rooted in breath, be one with nature, and follow the call of adventure.